better in my presence.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
As long as you are in fellowship with the Lord, you can take pretty much whatever comes along. But don't get out of fellowship. Don't miss church a few Sundays. Don't let your prayer life get neglected. Don't forget to read your Bible. And you'll look up and you lost. You won't know where you are. And somebody that loves you will have to come get you. All right. So God said this binding contract for you, Abram, means that you're going to have to walk before me and be blameless. All right. And then he throws in something in verse 10.
Yeah.
Another piece of the contract. Verse 10.
All right.
This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised.
Yeah.
These are the terms. And he goes on to clarify. He says every male child is born among your family. He had servants. Everybody in the family, every servant, everybody in that family.
Yes.
Male child. Had to be circumcised.
Yes. Yes.
Those are the terms that God establishes. Well, now, what's God going to do? What's God? This is what Abram has to do for the Lord. What's the Lord going to do for Abram?
All right, bro.
Because the contract has some reciprocal relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Amen. Now, you got some friends.
All right.
Amen. It's not a reciprocal relationship.
All right.
And if you think for a moment, you'll think who that rascal is. Somebody that's always over to your house to eat. But you don't never get an invitation to come to that house. You know that fellow that's always calling you on the phone wanting to hear your gossip. But ain't got nothing to tell you. That's an unequal relationship. And you got people in your life who want to have a relationship, but they want it on their terms alone. In fact, brothers and sisters, if the truth be told, you might would do better if you got rid of some of your friends. Your friends, not mine. Look at me funny. Them people you be hanging out with. You calling your best friend, telling him all about how sorry your husband is. And she listening. Now listen, let me tell you something. If you gonna stay with him, don't you talk about it. Because you ain't all that. He could just as easily be sitting over at the club talking about you to his friend. So you want a binding relationship that is reciprocal. So what is God going to do? It says in verse 4, he says, look, Abram, I'm going to make you the father of many nations. Boy, that's pretty powerful, isn't it? Many nations. And then he tells him in verse 6, he says, you're going to be fruitful. He says, I will make you exceedingly fruitful. And I will make nations of you, and kings, that's the next one, kings are going to spring forth from your seed. Oh, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, if kings are coming forth, that means some money coming forth. going to make this an everlasting covenant. Look at verse 7.
Yes.
He says, it's between me and you, your descendants after you, and in their generations for an everlasting covenant. In other words, this covenant has no end. You won't be able to get out of this one. Amen. Everlasting means that when time comes to an end and you step on over into eternity, this covenant will be binding over in eternity. I don't know how you feel about it, but I kind of like them kind of terms.